Good evening, you're watching Estuary News. Coming up, we find out about one Louth woman's quest to scale Mount Everest for charity. And we head to Caister for another Reflections. And my guests tonight are John Gill and Jamie Pickett from the Viking Rumblers, who are celebrating their 40th anniversary. Welcome to Estuary News, I'm Emma Lingard. Now it's time for the news headlines.
There's been an increase in the number of cars being stolen after break-ins in houses. Most of them appear to be happening in East Yorkshire, and police are reminding people to secure their homes at night and to not leave keys in obvious places, near the front door or in a key cupboard. One of the cars was later recovered in South Yorkshire. As previously reported by Estuary TV, landlords are being offered free smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors by Humberside Fire and Rescue Service. They are now offering a second chance for landlords to claim the free detectors this Friday. Landlords can claim for up to 20 properties they own, and they can download a claim form from the service's website and take it into one of many Humberside Fire Department buildings on Friday between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. The fine for a landlord to not have these detectors installed by the 1st of October is up to £5,000 levied by the local council. Members of the public have called Humberside Police to the East Lound area of Hacksea in North Lincolnshire today after a llama escaped. Concern was raised for the safety of members of the public as it was running along a main road. Anyone who tries to get close to the llama to capture it have so far been unsuccessful as it keeps running off. It's described as being large, brown and cream. The police are warning that the creature may pose a threat to the public and should not be approached. If you see it, please call the non-emergency 101 number to notify the force. Hull's first purpose-built pole studio celebrated its 10th birthday over the weekend. Pole for Fitness celebrated the milestone with a special show held at the Freedom Centre. Claire Bennett, who runs the business, says the studio has become a success over the years, but people's negative perceptions of pole dancing proved difficult at the start.
In the early days, it was quite difficult to sort of get through to people that what we were doing was a legitimate form of exercise. But now the industry's moved on so much. Everybody understands that pole dancing and what happens in, say, a lap dancing club is totally different. And we empower women and men now as well through strength, flexibility, and improving self-esteem and confidence.
That's all for the news for now, and if you have a news story for us, then please don't hesitate to contact us on Grimsby 01472315553. You can find us on Twitter at Estuary TV, or you can search us on Facebook, or visit our website estuary.tv. Bye for now.
At 4,409 feet, Ben Nevis is the highest mountain in the UK. That's dwarfed in comparison to Europe's tallest, Mont Blanc, which reaches up to over 15,000 feet. But how would you fancy climbing to the base camp of Mount Everest, another 2,000 feet on top of that? Well, one fundraiser from Louth will be doing that over the next couple of weeks for charity, and Dan Kemp has been to meet her.
Tracy Salkeld has been raising money for worthwhile causes for some time now, but when she, like the rest of us, witnessed the horror of the earthquake in Nepal in April, she decided she needed to do something. While many feared for travelling to the region, which would in turn cause a knock-on effect to the tourism industry of the mountain nation it's so heavily reliant upon, Tracy already had a flight booked, and she stuck to it.
I decided November of last year to do the challenge of an Everest base camp to raise a lot of money for them and to make awareness that there's much needed money for the cause.
As ever, Tracy takes on her challenges for charity. The people of Nepal will benefit from the trip, but she has a very different story as to why she's chosen the Alzheimer's Society back home in the UK to raise money for.
For a personal reason, my mother-in-law had it. But the turning point was through a training programme of doing 26 miles around Stonehenge and the surrounding area. For the society, I came across a brother and sister, and when we finished the event, we had a massive picnic, and the brother asked me to look after his sister and to go and get a burger, and he was wrapping a baby chain around my wrist. And I wondered why, and I asked him, and he went, well, the thing is, she's got Alzheimer's and she's 19. and 19 years old, and it threw me that this young lady did 26 miles and she was totally oblivious to what she achieved. When her brother went into the distance, she called him, let's say, Mark, but his real name was Matthew, so she was calling a wrong name to him, and no wonder he didn't respond because it wasn't his name. And when he came walking back down towards her, her parents were walking alongside, and she couldn't even acknowledge her own mother. And for myself, I just thought that, my goodness, that could have been my own daughter.
It's clearly something that stuck with Tracy, and it makes her more determined to do the trip.
People keep on stopping me in the street now. Surely you're not doing it. Surely you're not going. Surely they're stopping you. Well, every day that goes by that I don't get a letter or an email stopping me, I am going. I'm going with 3 young men, that they are between 20 and 25. I think I'm going to be mother to them. They are from different parts of the country. And believe me, we're going to have fits of laughter. We're going to maybe have a few tears, but all of us are going to have an amazing journey.
Now, the Viking Rumblers are about to celebrate their 40th anniversary. The walking club, based in North East Lincolnshire, are very active in the area, walking and campaigning. Joining me from the group are John Gill, the club's social secretary, and Jamie Pickett. Welcome both to the studio.
Hello, thank you.
First of all, just to find out, why was the Rambling Club set up?
Want me to answer?
Yeah. Jamie, you answer?
Yeah, it started as a group of postmen.
Okay.
They didn't do enough walking in the week, so they wanted to go out walking on a Sunday, and it started in 1975 and developed from there.
Postmen don't do enough walking. I was going to say,
No,
most you see walk.
It didn't seem so. No. It was different, work and pleasure.
Okay, so it was set up to keep them active in their job. Were you there from that?
No, I joined in 1977.
Okay.
The first walk I did was Kinder Scout.
Right, okay. So, John, how long have you been a member of the group then?
Oh, goodness me, it must have been about 1982.
Yeah.
I was coerced by this gentleman here. I was no longer a postman.
Right.
And we decided to tag along with them.
Yeah.
And the rest is history, really.
What was it mandatory that they had to work?
No, it never was. It
Right.
was just, as I say, it's just a loose group. There were, at the time, there were 1 or 2 people who weren't postmen.
Okay.
Who were friends of the members. It wasn't even a club as such in 75. It metamorphed into a club over the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. And obviously 40 years,
Long
just
time,
a big achievement, isn't it? How many members do you currently have then?
I think there's 34 now.
Okay.
But it's been up and down. It's been down as far as 18, I think. And it's
up
been
as far as 40.
Oh, yeah.
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 I mean, when it first started, and when you joined,
Yeah.
I mean, how many people were
It was quite well
involved?
supported in them days because there must have been probably 30 members at that time. Yeah.
Okay.
30 members. Yeah, it's quite
Okay.
well supported because it was word of mouth at work, and more people wanted to do it.
Yeah, and keep fit, isn't it?
That's right.
So you've just mentioned there you did Kinder Scout as your first walk. So what types of walks have you organised?
When it first started, we did a lot of the challenge walks, 3 Peaks, Lightweight, Beverley 20, the vast majority of the Viking Way. But obviously, as we've got older, we don't sort of challenge ourselves now. You know, it's it's been too much. Yeah. I can't see me going up further 3 Peaks or anything like that now.
Well, this is it.
Yeah.
Challenges,
That's
aren't
right,
they?
yeah.
I mean, what was your first walk?
Biscathorpe to Donington-on-Bain and into the Black Horse.
I remember those ones.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah. In actual fact, we did it again, didn't we?
A couple of weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago.
But last year we raised money for the Notts and Lincolnshire Air Ambulance.
Yeah.
We did is it the Silver Links Way?
Yeah, you did, yeah.
And that's about 25 miles in a day. And that was pretty tough. I don't think we'll be doing that again.
You like the more easy walking.
Yeah. It's what's at the end of the walk, really. It's just...
The wolds are enough for us now, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're high enough, the
Yeah.
wolds, we don't want to be...
So how often do you actually meet then?
Once a month on a Sunday at the Rafa Club, Highcliffe, and there's a walk once a month. Sometimes we have a walk on a Tuesday to appease the non-drinkers because they insist that we have to go to a tea shop on a Tuesday.
Tea and cake.
Tea and cake.
Right, yeah.
That's
Yes.
what you need.
But yeah, it works pretty well. I mean, we go abroad,
Okay. So,
which is quite a task setting it all up.
yeah.
We did Bulgaria last year, up
Okay.
in the mountains.
Okay.
It's become quite a social thing now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I say is.
Yeah.
Well, hold it there, because when we come back after the ad break, we're going to continue more, obviously talking about walking and some of your highlights, but also about the plans, because it is your one of your big years, isn't
Yes.
it?
Oh,
So
yes.
stay where you are. So join me after the break when the Reverend Ian Robinson from Caister will bring us reflections, and we'll have all the latest local sport. Welcome back. You're watching Estuary News. Still to come, we head to the church in Caister for reflections, and we'll bring you the latest local sports news and results. Now, still with me in the studio talking about the Viking Ramblers are John Gill and Jamie Pickett from the group. Now, we were talking just a moment ago there about obviously the walks you've done and who makes up the members, and you're celebrating your 40th anniversary. So what have you actually got planned?
Organised a big do, haven't we?
Yeah, the big do is at the Cleethorpes Conference Centre on Cromwell Road,
Right.
where there'll be a disco. The older members of us probably won't have the energy to get onto the dance floor anymore. There's
Buffy.
a buffet, yeah, and also there's some celebratory cakes being made, and there is like a historical picture parade when we all had hair.
Okay.
In our younger days, might embarrass a few people, I think.
So I look back in time, because I mean, like you said, the members will have come and gone over the years, won't they?
Well, what's happened is I've gone round, and John as well, gone round a lot of the older members, because I obviously remember most of the older ones, and I've gone round and rounded quite a lot of them up. So there's quite a lot of the older members who are going to join us on the night. Yeah.
Which is good,
looking
isn't
forward
it?
to it, yeah.
For those that thought
the
the walking days might have been over,
the walking days
you're
are
dragging
over
them
for
back.
some of them, yeah.
More pushing days.
But you know, they're just going to come and join us and have a good time, really, and talk over old times.
Because this is it, it's that social side, I suppose, that's an important aspect of all of this, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
To meeting people. So how many people are expecting to go to your do you think?
Well,
About 60, I think.
about 60, I think.
Okay.
But we're also having a raffle as well to raise money for the air ambulance, which is our
And a collection.
Your
and a
charity,
collection. It's our chosen charity.
Okay.
So we're quite looking forward to it, aren't
Yeah,
we?
a good night.
And when is that?
26th of September.
Okay.
7:30.
7:30, sorry.
Okay, 26th of September. And just, do you think the club's going to be here for another 40 years?
We won't.
Are you still going to be meeting and
I think
walking?
there's people still coming in and joining, and it should hopefully keep it going.
I reckon.
I think we've done well to keep it going this long, really. I know you've got clubs like the Wanderlust, but they have massive membership, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas
I was going to say, is the focus still on people being employed, by Royal Mail now?
No, there's I think there's probably a couple now who are at Royal Mail, but the contact is still there.
Yeah.
There are still people at Royal Mail, and it still gets talked about there.
Yeah.
I mean, I left a couple of years ago. I retired a couple of years ago, and we still talks about it there. So it's gone through those 40 years. Yeah. So the contact is still there.
Done really well. Well, unfortunately, we're nearly out of time, but thank you both for coming in. And just to remind people then, it's at the Cleethorpes Conference Centre on Cromwell Road, isn't it, in Cleethorpes?
This is just ex-members.
Ex-members of the Viking Ramblers on the 26th of September. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Emma.
And now it's time for the weekly reflections, and this week it's the Reverend Ian Robinson from Caister.
Well, if you're anything like me, you'll have been watching the news reports of the refugees coming from Syria into Europe with perhaps bewilderment and concern, and I honestly don't know how that's going to resolve itself. I heard a man from Syria saying that the solution was not to empty Syria of people who are good and peaceful, but to resolve the situation within the country itself. And I guess that's easier said than done. Of course, there's also the added problem of how many people we can accommodate in each of our countries and how we keep our communities stable and prevent people causing unrest. But beyond all that, what's been moving is the images of generosity shown to people as they come into Europe. I saw a picture the other day of a little boy holding out his hand, offering food to a child who was coming into his country from Syria. And I guess that's part of the nature of human spirit. The human nature is to offer one's hand to those in need. Jesus said that his followers should comfort the bereaved, heal the sick, feed the hungry, house the homeless, clothe the naked, and so on. And in a sense, that's the ethos of the Christian message. And he also told us that when we do something like that for other people, we're also doing it for him as well.
Joining me on the sofa is Richard Morris to look through some of the weekend stories. Richard.
There's been all kinds of really interesting things happening.
This
is reported in the Hull Daily Mail, and this is a sandwich shop owner claims his business has suffered after the shop was featured on the BBC series Saints and Scroungers. Now, this is something which I'd never would have thought would, affect something in Hull, but apparently Jamie Edwards, who's the owner of Baker's Sandwich and Coffee Shop off Headon Road in East Hull, says that the previous owners were implicated in some kind of, dodgy dealings or whatever else. And of course, they used photographs and shots of his shop during the programme, and they didn't explicitly say that it's got new owners and that he's been operating this new business since April. And apparently he's seen business drop just in the last week.
So people
massively.
don't want to go in and buy his sandwiches?
No, apparently not. The previous owners failed to pay more than £1 million in tax on various other businesses and whatever else. Yeah. But of course, once you've said these allegations and whatever else on a national programme, you're going to, obviously have issues if you don't explain to people the surrounding circumstances and what's happened since.
So he's obviously hastily now trying to spread the news.
Yeah, so I think he's obviously hastily trying to recover. Yeah, well, yeah. I think he's trying to sort of, go to as many media outlets as possible, and we're helping him by saying, it's not him. It was the previous owners. But it is a little bit strange that he hasn't changed the sign or the name of it, because you'd have thought if you really wanted,
you would think yes, he might have changed the business name.
He might want to rebrand.
I would advise him to rebrand. I think.
He might. It might be wise. Oh
dear, not good. And we know how things like that can taint.
Oh yeah,
we
absolutely.
know from obviously the Westcliff in Scunthorpe and obviously the East Marsh and Grimsby featuring on Skint.
Yeah, and of course, these small little areas can be blown massively out of proportion or whatever else.
Okay, next story.
This is Miss Great Britain, Zara Holland. She's from Hull.
Say it was me. I didn't win it.
No, it's not you, Emma. And she went off and celebrated and had a Big Mac, was the story that the Hull Daily Mail went with, yes. Apparently, after months of strict dieting, intensive gym sessions and hours of rehearsals, Zara Holland celebrated winning Miss Great Britain with a well-deserved Big Mac.
Well, why not?
Why not? Apparently, she, I read the ambitious model said she had put herself on a strict no carbohydrates, no alcohol and no sugar diet to prepare for the grueling contest, as well as visiting the gym 6 times a week. So I don't think I'm going to be entering any contest like that anytime soon.
I think that rules out half of our newsroom.
All of it. I think you'll find not just half. I think that's all of us. I mean, I don't think many people could go through that. But well done her.
She's good.
Miss Great Britain now.
From Hull.
Yeah, girl from Hull.
That's good.
And Beverley is one of the UK's top places to live. apparently. It's soared to second place in the Hot Housing Index 2015. And people are concerned now, local councillors and people like that who've spoken to Hull Daily Mail, they're quite concerned because what they're saying is that actually, because it's become such a desirable place to live, we're looking at housing developments now springing up. And of course, that's going to bring down the desirability of wanting to live there.
It is. They've got a few on the cards, haven't they, at the moment?
Civic society leaders are warning against Beverley being routed by thousands of new homes on anonymous estates. It's one of the favourite phrases.
Because Beverley is a lovely place. It is.
Well, they've got a
nice
picture here of a nice field with cows in it and a big church.
Have you been?
I haven't been to Beverley in ages.
You sure? I'm going to have to send you on a job.
You will. I'm sure we can find some news in Beverley. Probably something to do with this.
Yes,
Probably something to do with this. Thunderstorms for Grimsby area.
You have to be very quick.
Well,
we've got like 10
okay,
seconds.
apparently we're just going to get really bad weather this coming week, according to Grimsby Telegraph, so watch out for that.
Okay, watch out.
Even worse than it was over the weekend.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thanks.
Now it's time for sport.
It wasn't a good weekend for Hull Tigers fans as they were beaten in their away match at Brighton. They failed to score for the first time this season. They were defeated 1-0 by Brighton and Hove Albion at the Amex Stadium on Saturday. In rugby, Hull Kingston Rovers beat Bradford 48-4 and became the first team to retain a Super League place through the qualifiers. Goals were scored by Mantellato and Dixon, while tries were made by those two and Chisholm, Seo, Wellham and Horn. Football legends such as Phil Babb, Nigel Winterburn and A.D. Akinbaye are used to playing on the country's finest grounds, but now they've been playing in a charity match in Cleethorpes. The Lashings 11 tour the country, playing against local sides to raise money and their profile in the community. Over 250 corporate guests, as well as many more spectators, visited the Linden Homes Club on Friday. Here's former Chelsea and Leicester defender Frank Sinclair.
We've done a few before with Lashings and they're always competitive, and we've obviously got a mixed side with a few older players and a few a little bit younger, but we come out here just to enjoy the day and do our best to help out as much as possible, raising some money and enjoying ourselves on the field at the same time.
That's all from me for now, and I'll be back with more sports news soon. If you've got a sports story for us, then please email us on sport@estuary.tv or give us a ring on Grimsby 31553. Bye for now.
That's it for tonight. If you've a story for us, visit our Facebook or Twitter pages or email news@estuary.tv or phone us. Until tomorrow, good night.
Estuary TV weather, sponsored by Grimsby Institute for a brighter future.
Hello and welcome to Estuary TV's weather. A cloudy start for Tuesday, some heavy showers becoming drier and brighter by the afternoon and highs of 16 degrees. Wednesday dry to start with but some heavy rain later.
Estuary TV weather, sponsored by Grimsby Institute for a brighter future.